Hey all, I'm just standing out front of the Scouting Court Community Center greenhouse, and if you notice inside, here to the right, are a bunch of seedlings that we have growing. So the ones at the back here are the Scouting Court Community seedlings. The ones closer to the door, there's 3 trays right here. Those are the University Health Network Real Food Garden seedlings. So I'd like to give you some information about soil conditions so that when you come into the greenhouse to water the seedlings, you'll have a good indication of whether or not they need watering, how much watering, and just an overall understanding of the optimal soil conditions for growth. First of all, here's an example of some seeds that we planted back on April the 2nd, and as you can see, nothing has actually started to pop out. So the seeds are still within the germinating process. And the optimal temperature for growth at this point is anything from 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. Once the seedlings emerge from the soil, as you can see here, the optimal temperature conditions for growth is anything between 16 to 21 degrees Celsius. I'm going to move over to our thermometer, which is inside the greenhouse, to have a look. Today, the temperature is sitting at about 26 degrees Celsius, which is a pretty good temperature. On a typical day in the greenhouse, temperatures can get up to 40 degrees, which is a bit abnormal and above average. So we found that our seedlings actually require a bit more watering. Let me go down to the soil actually to show you some good examples of optimal soil conditions for our seedlings. This soil here, for example, is probably the optimal condition for seedling growth. It's moist, it's not over wet, sopping wet or soggy, but moist to touch. If we go to the right, this seedling container, you can notice, is a little bit lighter brown in color, and it actually needs to be watered, so I'm going to water this guy a little bit later today. And just behind, if you can see, this container here actually has a bit of a green tinge to it, so this is an indication of being overwatered, too much watering. And I can touch it. It's actually a little bit more than just moist. It's still a bit soggy, so I'm going to avoid watering that one today. So it's interesting that in such close proximity we have 3 different soil conditions. So when you come in to water the seedlings, have a look at the trays and do a bit of an assessment at first.